The United States is tonight facing up to what could become its worst ecological disaster. A sheen of oil from a leaking underwater well in the Gulf of Mexico has reached fragile coastal wetlands near the mouth of the Mississippi River. A state of emergency has been declared in Louisiana, and the federal government has declared a national disaster with a slick forecast to hit much of the Gulf Coast over the weekend.
As the full scale of this disaster becomes apparent, the entire Gulf Coast is on alert. A strengthening wind change has started to blow the 1,500 square kilometre slick directly towards the coast. And for the communities and wetlands of the Mississippi Delta, it's become a question of not if, but when.
I'm frightened. This is a very, very big thing, and the efforts that are going to be required to do anything about it, especially if it continues on, are just mind-boggling.
With every tide, hundreds of thousands of litres of crude oil make their way closer to the shore, far more than initially thought. It's now estimated up to 5,000 barrels, close to 800,000 litres a day, are pouring from the site where the stricken Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded and sank just over a week ago. A state of emergency has been declared and the President has weighed in with support, but he's vowed that the rig operator, British Petroleum, will foot the bill.
And while BP is ultimately responsible for funding the cost of response and cleanup operations, my administration will continue to use every single available resource at our disposal.
BP has sought US military assistance with remote-operated underwater vehicles and satellite imaging equipment, and extra kilometres of boom and skimmers are being brought in. And it's planning to try a new technique of pumping chemical dispersant directly into the ruptured well more than a kilometre down, in the desperate hope of breaking up at least some of the oil before it reaches the surface. Capping the well head will take at least 2 weeks. Drilling a relief well could take months.
In worst case scenarios, we could see 5,000 barrels a day for the next 90 days.
It could be 90 days before the release valve is put in.
At the current rate, it would take about half that time for this spill to eclipse the disastrous Exxon Valdez, to become America's worst ever environmental catastrophe.